When you woke up this morning, you did not expect to see a video from Peter Bilzerian about Tinder. Tinder? Tinder? You mean the dating app? Now, before you go berserk and unsub, don't worry, I'm not that kind of guy. Just hear me out, players. Tinder is one of those apps that gives you instant, unlimited access to anybody around the world. And if there's one thing I learned about networking, the best way to meet genuine local insiders at a destination you're about to travel to is through dating apps. In this video, I'm going to share my travel hacking secrets on how to leverage Tinder so that you can effectively travel to new destinations, get the best local tips, restaurant recommendations, and maybe, if you're lucky, you can get your own personal tour guide that can save you a ton of money and give you an authentic experience. If you're new around here, my channel is all about traveling, personal finance, and winning in all areas of your life. If you like that sort of thing, please consider checking out some of my other videos on travel hacking. And don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment on this video so that the YouTube algorithm knows that I'm legit. I know I'm legit, you know I'm legit, but does YouTube? Now, let's get started. Now, before we get started, I just want to clarify something. I get it. There are a ton of stigmas surrounding the use of Tinder, specifically with hookups, and this video is not an endorsement of that. Now, let me tell you a story. Back in November of last year, I was getting ready to embark on a trip with two of my best friends to the wonderful country of the Philippines when my friend Dilly pitched the most crazy idea. He said, let's make Tinder accounts and buy the gold. For a second, I thought he was crazy, but then he went on to say, we buy the gold so we can change our location to the Philippines so we can meet Filipinas before we embark on the trip so that we could get the best tips and tricks so we can plan our trip the best way possible. And I thought he was nuts, but eventually I gave in and I spent $10 out of curiosity for gold for 1 month, and I changed my location to the Philippines. Now, long story short, apparently in the Philippines, Dilly is considered exotic because of his luscious red hair and muscles, so for him it was relatively easy to match with over 2,000 Filipinas within a month. Me? I had like 500 matches, so he kind of made me feel insecure, but that's fine. In our bios, we put something along the lines of this: traveling to the Philippines from the United States next month with two friends, looking to meet people and get recommendations. Very simple and straightforward. You're telling your intentions. Look, this is completely ethical because you're being upfront with your intentions right in your bio. And now, it would have been different if you said something in your bio along the lines of this: I'm looking for my future wife. Want to watch Netflix? See, there's a big difference right there. Trust me, we took advantage of this opportunity to engage the locals directly and get the best travel destination possible. And because our trip was very impromptu and we did very little planning beforehand, these recommendations went a long way. And this may be the only time I ever say this, but I had planned a trip around Tinder matches. Oh God, that sounds so weird to say. Oh my God. If you're a longtime viewer of my show, you may have seen a video where we took bad advice from a local and got stuck in a typhoon, not once, but twice. However, most of the advice that we had taken from our Filipino matches was incredibly solid advice. Great destinations, great restaurants, and even some of them offered to be our tour guides. And unfortunately for them, we turned all of them down and we just adventured as the boys, as we would typically do. What I will say is we got out alive, no wives, and it was an incredible experience all around. And now the reason I'm telling you all of this is because Tinder can be used safely in order to find traveling advice, especially if you're going to an unknown destination. And it can also help you avoid those damn tourist traps. Or, better yet, find a hidden gem restaurant that you would have never known about. Because I travel for the hidden gems, the path less taken. That's why I travel. I'm traveling for the culture, for the people, not just the sights, not just the tourist traps. I'm traveling for the people. And because the people are giving us the best destinations, the best recommendations, this is a powerful combination. And technology has allowed us to connect on levels we have never connected on before in our lives. And Tinder, although it has many stigmas, this is the perfect way to experience a foreign country or foreign city and meet people along the way and even build those genuine connections with people. This is perfect. And in our scenario, we took complete advantage of that. Our poor planning didn't constitute an emergency, but what it did was give us an opportunity. And Dilly Dilly and Ibeck, they are great guys to travel with because they are both very flexible and open to new ideas. And although I love traveling with the guys, if I was traveling alone and I were desperate, I would probably been able to finesse one of these girls to let me stay the night at their apartment. 1 night, 2 nights, maybe even a year, and give me a tour around the city. And that would have been, first, saving a lot of money on accommodations, food, and it would have been an awesome experience. And, okay, I'm not going to stay a year to experience the culture or in one person's apartment, but if I was desperate and I was a backpacker, that would have worked out well. And I know some people out there will think to themselves, okay, Pete, that's unsafe. You go into a stranger's apartment that you met on the internet. Again, you have to be very flexible and take the necessary precautions. And I'm not endorsing that. I'm just saying that's an option for someone that's desperate and in a foreign country and may not have a lot of money. That is a travel hack in and of itself, but the way we're doing it is we're finding a local guide, we have our accommodations, and it's just a good combination because we're getting the tips and tricks. At the beginning of this video, many of you were probably skeptical or concerned on how to use Tinder as a way to get travel tips and meet genuine locals before going on a trip. But I hope throughout this video, I've alleviated those concerns and have given you a reason to use technology from a different perspective. And there is no better thing in the world than to take advantage of someone's enthusiasm for their hometown. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.